So till now we're discussing about the errors. So we were discussing about the basics of methods. So we seen that finite difference method. Okay, finite difference method. So in finite difference method, we have seen that how forward. I mean, how any terms like del t, del x, del t, del t, second order terms like del 2t, del x2, and so on and so forth. How to give a discrete form of the equations for these PDEs. Okay, so that was whole our intention. And when we discretize this using some finite difference, backward difference, or central difference schemes, we also came to know that we get some sort of truncation error, or round off error. Uh, Thilakaran, Thilakaran, please switch off your this. And round off error. Okay. Now this has some properties on stability. Okay. Along with the errors. Okay. So we have seen how errors, what type of errors are there. For example, we have seen the dissipation error. Okay. Dissipation error, and then dispersive error, and we have seen the stability limits for. So all this is the basic of your discretization. So all this we have seen the basic of discretization. And meanwhile, we have seen one application of this finite difference method to 1D heat equation. Okay, 1D transient heat equation. Now we'll extend that philosophy here, and we'll start today the finite numerical solution of 2D heat conduction equation. So today we'll start with numerical solution of 2D heat conduction equation. So this is our intention of today's topic. So the governing equation, generally will look like this. So T is some variable. So in case of heat conduction, T is a temperature and small t is a time. So this you have 2D unsteady heat conduction equations. Alpha is your K by rho Cp, and you have del 2T del x2 plus del 2T del y. Okay. We are considering Cartesian coordinates, and we are considering this 2D equation Cartesian coordinate system. Okay. So in Cartesian coordinate system. Okay. Now this equation, if you see the property of this equation is a parabolic equation, right? This equation is a parabolic equation. And how many boundary conditions are required? So it requires a boundary condition on time. So one BC here. Okay. You require two boundary conditions in X and two boundary conditions in y. Okay, so this is BC means this is initial condition. So one initial condition on time derivative. So one EC, IC, two BC, two BCs. Okay, so governing equation plus boundary conditions. This becomes a problem. Okay, so this is a problem. So we want to solve this. Okay, so we have two methods. One is explicit method. One method is explicit. We have two methods to solve. One is explicit and second one is implicit. Okay. So now by this time you know that what does it mean by implicit, what does it mean by explicit, and what does it mean by implicit. Okay. So once it is explicit means the all the other variables will be a function of only one unknown, and there will be many knowns. Here more than one unknowns will be there. So we need to solve simultaneous equations. Okay. So basically you will have to do some sort of matrix solver here. Here we need not to make a matrix solver. We just simply put it and get the values like that. So we'll start first with the explicit method. So first method will start explicit. Okay. Expli- mm, Explicit method to solve 2D heat conduction equation. Okay. So again we'll go to the discretization we do. So your governing equation need to be discretized. So it has to be. So essentially what we do is we take the point at which we want to discretize. So ith is a generalized point. Then we have del x square. So this is also at I, and plus alpha del square t del y square. Alpha is a constant, so it is constant at all i's. Okay, so this is the one you have to do. And now in explicit, what we can do is we can use a forward in time, okay, and central central in space. Okay, so let us do that. Hmm. So this one forward in time, what you will get forward in time. Okay, so what do you get? This is at ti n plus 1 minus ti. Okay, now here there will be no only one I. There also will have, this is two dimensional problems, so we have ij involved here. Okay, so you understand that. So every variable will be a ij. Every variable will be a ij. I'll just show you with a diagram. And this is a delta t. Okay, this alpha, this we have to do the second order discretization. So we know that for the second order discretization, t I. So this is in I. Okay, this is in I. So I plus 1 comma j. Okay, minus twice t ij plus t I minus 1 comma j divided by delta x square. Okay, plus t. Now this is y. So we are moving in y. So j plus y, j plus 1 minus twice t ij plus t I j minus 1, okay, divided by delta y square. Okay. How we are doing this? This is done because of this. So okay, let me draw like this, and then again I'll draw like. So you can have, okay. So this is say your x, this is say your y, and this is say your time. Okay, so what you are doing at this t is equals to 0, t is equals to 0, we have grids in x and y direction now. Okay, so we'll be having grids in x and y direction. Okay. So this is at t is equals to, this is at t is equals to 0. This is your time axis. This is your y axis, and this is your x axis. So here all these are like delta x, and this delta y, and you can consider all delta x are same and all delta y's are same, and even delta x and delta y's are same. So uniform gridding. So uniform grid is considered here, and at n plus, at t is equals to 0. At any other time, you can have the similar configuration. So at t is equals to n plus t plus 1 or n plus 1, you will have the same grid moving in on. So any point, we can focus on any point. Now in this case, this is a I index. No, x is represented by I index, and y is represented by j index. So the location of this point is ith index and jth index. Okay, so we have to say how many I and how many j, that shows the I. Okay, now this the same figure we have at any other time. So let me just try to get that, how I can do. Okay, now say this is t is equals to n plus 1. This is at t is equals to 1. So this may be n plus 1 and this is nth level. So this ij, they have been gone like this. Okay, but they are the same. Okay, now here we are doing our uh, so in forward in time, what I do is whatever ij at n plus 1, that we take into consider. Okay, so that is what we have done here. ij values at n plus 1, so that is n plus 1 value here, minus tij at nth level, at nth level, that we have taken. And now when we have to take at space, what we are doing is we are taking into consideration these values, I I minus 1, I plus 1, these values. Okay, so here we see this is ith value, this is I minus 1, this is I plus 1, right? So this, and here this is jth value, the next value is j plus 1, and previous value is j minus 1. Okay, so in x square, in this case we are taking I plus 1, ij and I minus 1. So I plus 1 is this point. Okay, I plus 1 j is this point, I plus 1 and j, I plus 1 and j is this point. So essentially we have this point and this point. Okay, so in the space in x direction we are taking these points. Okay, and in case of the y square, I j plus 1 minus 2ij plus tij minus 1. So you see here, where is tij plus 1? I and j plus 1. J plus 1 is next point. This point is a j plus 1 point. And tij is this point. Okay, tij minus 1. Tij minus 1 is this point. So we are taking this stencil. So you see the stencil of the problem is as shown by the red and this green color. Okay, so the stencil is like this. Whenever you are taking forward in time and the central in space. So forward in time means n plus 1 minus n, and all other values. These all other values are also supposed to be at nth level. Do you understand this? These are all at nth level. Okay, these are all at nth level. Is this fine? Okay, these are all at nth level. Okay, so if you do for one, all the grids will be like that, at next n plus 1, n plus 2, n plus 3, n plus 4. It is a generalized. Now you have to just keep on adding n plus 1. This will become n plus 2, and then this will become n plus 1, like that. So you are moving in time. Okay. So this is a discretization for interior points. So this is a discretization for all interior points. What are the interior points? These are the interior points. I'm just showing. So these are the interior points. This point, okay. And all other points are, this is a boundary point, this is a boundary, okay, boundary, like that. All other points are boundary points. And this boundary discretized equation for boundary points will come from the boundary condition, but this is the for interior. So this equation for interior. Now suppose we are moving from 1 to nx minus 1. Okay, so this is our last point, this is our first point. And in case of j, say we are moving from again 1 to n y minus 1. Okay, so this equation, this particular equation is valid for all the interior points. So this equation is valid for all the interior points. Okay, so these are for all the interior points. So for all the interior points, for I is equals to 2 to nx minus 2. Okay, and j is equals to 2 to ny minus 2. We have to specify like that. Okay, so this equation is for, and you can write this equation in terms of our n plus 1. So we can the same, you can simplify this equation and you can write it like Tij n plus 1 is equals to Tij n plus alpha delta t delta x square, and we can have this Ti plus 1 minus 2 Tij plus Ti minus 1 comma j, and we have again alpha delta t delta y square Ti j plus 1 minus 2 Tij plus Tij minus 1. Okay, all are at nth level. So this all, this is for j2 to nx minus 2, j2 to ny minus 2. Okay, so you have to simply put in the old values and get the new values. Put the old values and get the new value. Okay, and you, these old values at in the beginning, they will come from the initial conditions. Okay, they will come from the initial conditions. Okay, now so just I'll write here. So this equation is for, this equation is valid for interior points and the boundary condition will be used for the boundary points. Okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll do the truncation error analysis. Hmm. We'll do the truncation error analysis. Okay. So to do that, what we have to do is we have to take the Tij and n as a center, okay, of your series. Tij as a center of your series. Tijn of your series. So Tijn means this Tij. This Tij. This is Ij. Okay. So this is at I and J. Tijn. So with respect to this, we have to do. So suppose we have to get the values for time derivative, then we have to use this 2 around this time delta t. So this is delta t. Around this delta t. Okay. So n plus 1 and n. Tij n plus 1 Tn. For other things, Tij n, it will use around this for forward difference, for backward difference around this. Okay, in x. Forward difference in x, these 2 points will be used, and in backward difference in y, these 2 points will be used. Okay, these 2 points by shown by the cursor. These 2 will be used. So Taylor series we have to use at this point Tijn. So using Taylor series, see this you have to understand, because many of the students, they were not able to when it was asked in a exam, the some points were given like I plus 1 and I minus 1. Okay, so that time these deltas were given like this: delta x w and delta x. So many students were not able to do this by putting this delta x and delta w, because they essentially might not be following the Taylor series formulation. Okay, basics of Taylor series formulation. Just they might have copied from something. So please understand where you are using. So by choosing the Tij, choose Tij n as the center of the Taylor series experiment, as a center of Taylor series expansion. Okay. So once you consider this as a center of this Taylor series expansion, for n plus 1, how I can write? So this is Tij at any n plus 1 around Tijn can be written like this: Tij plus derivative with respect to time. This is again Ij and delta t plus del 2 t, del t2, again it is at Ij, delta t square 2 factorial, and likewise you can keep on adding the terms. So this is the Tij n plus 1 around Tij n, Taylor series expansion for Tij n plus 1 around Tij n. Now we would also like to have for Tij n, I mean Ti plus 1j n plus 1 and Ti minus 1j n. Okay, so we would like to have for Tn I minus 1 and j. Similarly, we would like to have for Tn I plus 1 comma j. Similarly, we would like to have for Tn I j plus 1 and Ti j minus 1. Okay, so you see these are the terms in your truncation, this discretized equation. You see these terms. So we would like to have we would like to know how this expression is obtained using Taylor series. So this term, we want to get 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 this and this. Okay. So for that we need Taylor series expansion around Tij, and that is what we are doing. Now this I minus 1 and I plus 1 only will varies with respect to this sign here. So I'm just making it now here plus minus like that. So this is I plus minus 1. Okay, so either it is plus or minus. So in that case Tij n, this will become plus, so plus and minus minus del t sorry del x again ij, and at nth level, and these are all also nth level, now this is delta x, okay, and second term is positive only, there is no plus minus here. You see there is a plus minus is coming here only, there is no plus minus here, so plus only, and for second derivative del x square ij n and delta x square 2 factorial, and next term will be plus minus, plus and minus. Okay, that term you can write, so that will be del 3t del x3 ij and delta x is 3 factorial. Okay, but next term will be plus only. Okay, so you got to know how we are getting plus minus. Now again we can write the things for Ti, okay, and j plus minus 1, Tij plus minus 1. So for that Tij is the center point of our expansion, and we are having this delta x, these delta x's are delta x and delta y are around that. Okay, so when you are taking Ti plus 1 j, and we are taking this delta x, we are considering this delta x, the distance between these 2 points. When you are taking I minus Ti minus 1 j minus Tij, in that case around Tij and this is delta x, this delta x we are considering. Okay, so sometimes it may happen that the delta x1 and delta x2 may be different, but in this case we are considering that this delta x and other delta x is also same. Okay, so that is the thing we have to understand. If in that case only you are simply writing delta x, otherwise you will have to write differently, plus minus differently. For I plus 1j we have to write whole expression with that delta x, and for I minus 1j we have to write whole expression for that delta x1 or delta x2, like that. You remember this, understand this. Okay, so here again second term will be plus minus, and here also third term will be plus minus, and the other terms will be looking like this: delta t delta y ij n delta y plus del 2 t del y2 ij delta y square 2 factorial. Okay, and these things can be again del y3 ij delta y3 3 factorial. Another term. So likewise you have to get. Now we have to, what we have to do? We have to substitute this in this equation. Okay, substitute in equation 1. Substitute in equation 1. Substitute in equation 1. Okay. So after you substitute, we are going to get this equation. Okay. So you just substitute. I'm not writing whole that. So you may get like this: Tij n plus del t del t delta t plus del 2 t del t square delta t square 2 factorial plus order of delta t cube. Okay, this terms will be there minus Tij n, this was there, divided by delta t, and equals to alpha times you will get 2 del 2 t del x square delta x square 2 factorial plus some order delta x per term. Okay, after substitute, I mean after putting and bringing this Tij this side, you will get some terms cancellation of some terms. So finally you'll get like this: twice d2t dy2 delta y square 2 factorial plus order delta y 4. Okay, so we'll get this equation, and finally you may get del t equal minus alpha Okay, so only you will get this type of terms, and also some terms are missing here. So so plus this time term will also come. So there may be many dots plus order of delta t square plus order of delta t 4 and like that. So yeah, one is delta t square like that. We have this delta t term. So we are having this term delta t square terms. This things will come. So when you see the which is the leading error term, so we can see that leading error term finally we'll see that we have the order of delta x square, we have the order of in y delta y square, and in time we have delta t. Okay, what are the left terms are order first, I mean the leading error term. This is the leading error term, leading error term in x. This is the leading error term in y, leading error term in y, and this is a leading error term in t, leading error term in time. Okay, so this particular scheme has a truncation error, okay, of order. This particular scheme has a truncation error of order, so it is written like that, order delta t. It is order delta t comma delta x square comma delta y square. Okay, so truncation error is of the order of delta t, delta x square and delta y square. So this is the truncation error. This is the truncation error. Now after getting truncation error, what we should do, we should get the stability analysis. Okay, so next thing is stability analysis of this. B, stability analysis. Stability analysis means von Neumann analysis or Fourier analysis. Fourier or von Neumann. Von Neumann. Von Neumann analysis. Okay. Now for this analysis, what do we say? That Tij, any solution Tij solution at any time can be represented by the numerical solution, which is Tijn, and there can be a error in that solution. Okay, if error is 0, then this numerical solution is actually matching with the real solution. Okay, so that is what. So if you substitute this equation in the discretized equation number 1, we are going to get equation for error equation. So Tij, Dij both satisfy equation number 1. Hence error equation. Okay. Tij n and Dij n satisfies equation number 1. Satisfies equation number 1. Okay. Equation number 1. Equation number 1. Therefore, the error equation is error equation is, so error equation is again e is the same, you know, n plus 1 minus eij. Now you got this by the passage of time. We did for 1D case, we know now the procedure. So it is a delta t and is equals to alpha. Same thing for e I plus 1 comma j minus twice e ij plus e I plus 1 comma j. This is I where we have delta x square and everything is nth level this plus, this plus is with this horizontal line plus e I j plus 1 minus e I j plus e I j minus 1, you know. So this is the same thing we are repeating again and again, but please keep on doing these things. Okay. So we got the error equation. Now what do you assume? Assume E error error E or error E, which is a function of now x, y and t time, can be is equals to some amplitude and exponential parameters. Exponential parameters I iota, kappa, x and x. Similarly, there will be a j, or you can write it like rather than making it, yeah, so j kappa in y and y. Okay, so this is multiplied x multiplied y, like that. You have to assume this solution. So you can assume this solution of this type. So what do you get? Eij n plus 1, Eij n plus 1 will be equals to amplitude, which is nothing but at n plus 1 time, and all other will be I kappa. So they are ij, so they won't change. So ij means x means now I delta x. This I is different and this iota is different. Huh? This I is our I. Okay. That I and that I is different. Okay. I delta x. This I is imaginary I. Oh my god. This I is imaginary I. Okay. And this E I, this is ij, so exponential again I, so that I is your imaginary I, and ky will have kappa y, and we have j delta y. Okay, y will be represented by j delta y, discrete values, right? We have represented t x y g x y t by t I delta x, I delta y, and n delta t. Okay, you remember this? Our our PD x y solution in case of CFD, we get this solution as I delta x, discrete solution, I delta x, j delta y, and n delta t. This is what our indexing system was. Yeah. So we have used here ij n plus 1. Now we will use it for ei plus 1 n. We'll take, sorry, So let me just write for Eij n. Okay, Eij for n, this is n, and E iota kappa x, I delta x, E iota kappa y, J delta y, okay, J delta y. So this is there. Now we can write for En I plus minus 1 comma j, that can be written as A n E iota kappa x. So that can be written at I plus minus 1 delta x, right? Iota kappa y, j delta y. Okay. Now for I j plus minus 1, it can be written like this: A n E I kappa x and I delta x. So I is not changing. So no worries. E I kappa y j plus minus 1 multiplied by delta y, like this. It can be written like this. Now substitute this. Substitute in the put it in the equation number. This equation number, say A, capital A. Substitute in equation A. Substitute in equation A. So after substitution, these values will look and divide. Substitute in A. I'll just don't write other things, and divide throughout by an e to the power I kappa x, I delta x, j delta y. I delta x e to the power I kappa y, j delta y. Okay, so divide throughout by that. So what are you going to get is, you are going to get an plus 1 divided by an minus 1 equals to alpha delta t. Okay, this you will get it like 2. Please do it at your place. Maybe you can do it later. I'll just now give you kappa y delta y square minus twice delta x square minus twice delta y square. This you are going to get. And I would like to just the simplification. This simplification goes like this. So we just wanted to make it some nice equations. That is only our idea. Uh, yeah. So we can get like this. So 2 multiplied by 2 sine square kappa x delta x by 2 whole delta x square and plus 2 sine square. So this can be written as 1 a n plus 1 a n 1 minus 4 alpha delta t sine square k x delta x divided by 2 divided by delta x square and minus 4 alpha delta t sine square ky delta y by 2 delta y square. Okay. Now this is a nice form we got, and for stability, now the condition is for stability, magnitude of this a n plus 1 and a n should be less than 1. Okay. So what will say that this should be less than 1. So this should be less than 1. Magnitude of this should be less than 1. So we'll say that magnitude of this will be less than 1. So we are saying that magnitude of this, so essentially the magnitude of this should be less than 1. Okay. That is what we are saying. Okay. Now looking at this magnitude of 1 minus so and so less than 1, so it implies that this inside thing, okay, this inside thing, uh, this particular inside thing, it has to vary from minus 1 to I mean 1 minus 4 alpha sine square x delta x by 2 divided by delta x square minus 4 alpha delta t sine square ay delta y by 2 delta y square. Okay. This whole term from minus 1 to 1. Now, what do you see here? This term, the right hand inequality follows that these are always positive. Okay. So these terms are always positive. These terms are always positive. So these terms are always positive, positive and positive. So this right thing, so this thing will be always less than 1. So this right inequality, so this implies that right inequality is right condition, right condition is always satisfied. Okay. Less than 1 condition, right condition is always satisfied. Always satisfied. Okay. So 1 minus of all this negative will always less than 1. So this condition is always satisfied. This condition is always satisfied. Okay. What is not satisfied is this one. What is not satisfied I mean, just by visualization is this one. Okay. So we have to see this condition. So you have to see this condition in order to get some limit. So we'll go for this one. So this equation can be written. If this equation is like this, 1 negative minus 1 negative 1 less than 1 minus this first term and minus of second term. This is a condition, right? So we can write this equation in this fashion. So we can convert this equation in this fashion. Just I am copying here 1 alpha delta t, okay, in the bracket sine square kx delta x by 2 delta x square plus sine square ky delta y by 2 delta y square should be less than 2. Okay, this minus minus goes here, so this minus 2 goes that, so that change can be like that, and then you can make it less than 2. Okay, so this whole thing should be less than 2. Okay, now from this we have to get the condition. So after this simplification we have to get the condition. So what do we see from this particular part? Okay, this particular part sine square k delta x by 2 delta x square, uh, so this particular term is to be, just let me write this particular term and this particular term. This particular terms has conditions. Conditions are like they has to vary from 0 less than equals to 1 sine square kx delta x by 2 divided by delta x square and less than equal to 1 delta x square 1. Okay. And other condition similarly sine square k y delta y by 2 delta y square is delta x square and this delta y square also delta y square 1. Okay, so in total this condition, these two conditions, so hence we have to have this sine square kx delta x by 2 delta x square plus sine square ky delta y by 2 delta y square should be less than equal to 1 delta x square plus 1 delta y square. Okay, so if you ensure this one, so if you ensure that for alpha delta t 1 delta x square plus 1 delta y square is less than 2, then we get a stability condition. Then we get this. So if we use that, this less than 2, then inequality in equation. Which was this equation? In equation this equation. So let me write this equation as maybe A star. So in equation A star, in A star, in A star will be automatically followed, will be automatically followed, automatically followed. Okay, so hence the stability condition and stability criteria and stability condition becomes, and stability condition becomes alpha delta t 1 delta x square plus 1 delta y square. Okay. Alpha delta t should be less than equal to 1 by 2. Okay. So these conditions, we already seen from our previous cases, So in case of your 1D case, it was alpha delta t 1 delta x square should be less than equal to half. So this is for 2D case. Okay. For 3D case, for 3D, this is just a simple extension of this. For 3D, alpha delta t 1 over delta x square plus 1 over delta y square, and third coordinate 1 over delta z square will come into picture, and this all these things also should be less than half. So this is a condition. These are the conditions for all delta x, delta y, delta g, and delta t. In case of parabolic, this explicit. Okay, so FTCS kind of formulation. Okay, so this is about the stability. So we got this stability condition for this particular. Next class we will see the solution of that FTCS scheme. Okay, thank you.